everybody is physically, if not emotionally, or plan prepared, because we left off at the start of a combat.
That's right. Yes, we've just had a quick discussion about it, and we've still got no idea what we're going to do.
So, okay, I updated Terrell for housekeeping. I updated. I will pause the music again because that's it's very stressful to talk about that when we're just like talking about housekeeping. Terrell, I updated your lay on hands so it reflects 30 up to 30 points now.
Oh, okay.
But it's still kind of like last week. It's like you can heal any amount with those out of those 30 points. Like you could just heal one, or you could heal 30 in one go. We just set it up in Fantasy Grounds in 5 healy increments for the ease of just dragging it to people.
Mm,
But optionally, you could be like, hey, give yourself 1 point of healing.
okay.
That little token heal if you wanted to. And I put like little notes about Fae ancestry on Kai's character sheet because I don't know why they aren't there, but I couldn't find any actual effects set up in Fantasy Grounds. So I'm not sure anything ever existed to automate that stuff, like you're resistant to sleep things and advantage against being charmed.
Okay.
There's a note about it on Yelena's page, so I don't know what to think.
Yeah, the Fae ancestry.
Yeah, the Fey ancestry stuff, but it doesn't seem to be like an actual effect. So I just added a note to Kai's sheet as like maybe
I've got wait, is it Otherworldly Glamour? Fae Wanderer
that's
bonus?
something else. That's I think the otherworldly glamour is what adds your charisma modifier to your wisdom things
Half Fae.
or vice versa.
Mine says half elf Fae ancestry. Racial features.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you get this it's the same thing, but you get it because you're half elf, but it's basically the same bonus against sleep and charm.
Right. But for some reason, the full elf is not getting it.
I don't know. I mean, it's been so long since we created these characters that I don't know
I
if
know.
it's something I was manually added or it was something that got added just based off of creating the character. I don't know.
It's funny how much I can forget in a month. Also.
Oh yeah, I can forget how much I can forget in a week, in a day, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell, I will forget all of this by the end of the session. I feel like nothing ever happened. Okay, so last time stuff happened. You're traveling east on the road to Parnast with the caravan that is sort of being led by Lady Belafana Than. She is your employer, and you are kind of hired to be the muscle, the protection on the road east. And we started last session in the aftermath of discovering a dead body in the road and a crashed carriage in the trees off to the side of the road. You had just destroyed a zombified horse that emerged from the crashed carriage. And then you performed some additional reconnaissance and you discovered more zombies. Also, an undead merchant. He seemed a little bit different than the zombies that you fought and that he talked. He was he was very upset. He expressed some wrath over the possibility of his treasure being robbed. But no worries. You dispatched all these undead people with some fire and some radiance. And Yelena made some pot shots with her bow and arrow from the sky because she has flying boots. And then you like searched the carriage for treasure. You found some trunks strapped on the top. You got a little bit of gold, but mainly you got like some fancy rugs and bolts of silk. And there was this velvet lined box containing 21 silver spoons, each engraved with the family crest of one of the noble houses of the Sword Coast, including one with the chasms, which is like um, Jomont Shieldbrier's peeps, and the Than family crests. And you also found the merchant's diary inside the carriage. He lamented an encounter with some cowboy bandits further east on the journey. And he also mentioned that travel through Zelbross was precarious, that the merchant lost half his guards there. He also limited the quality of the guards, so the level of threat is open to interpretation. You camp for the night. Kai used this opportunity to attune to the gallant boots, which raised his wisdom from 8 to a whopping 10. And
Ooh.
oh, I forgot to do. I did the new art with your wisdom of 10, and then I forgot to link it in the overlay. So, I mean, it's in Fantasy Grounds, which is what really matters. But for display purposes, Kai is wiser than he appears. I have to remember to do that at some point. Okay. Problem for future me. What else did you guys do? Oh, Kai scribed some spells, invisibility and detect magic to his spell book, which means he can officially do things other than kill stuff.
I mean, he won't, but he
No,
could.
he won't, but he could. He could if he wanted to.
Yeah.
You also started to read some skill tomes that you lifted from Amelia Amanitas's library. Terrell read Comparative Pantheonic Philosophies and Cosmology for Dummies for about 4 of the 24 hours needed. And also attuned to her new Cloak of Squirrels.
Yay.
Yelena studied her copy of Tome of Fast Fingers for 4 of the 24 hours required and did something as well. I think it was the Cozy Socks. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Socks of the Well Rested, which give you some temporary hit points after you rest. I think they either give you temporary hit points after you rest or they give you like an extra HD to heal with during a short rest if you have to heal. Something like that.
Quick question: is anybody else having problems with
With.
finishing
With
sentences?
I think she might be
Did she
having
catch
Audio
issues.
connectivity, or is that just
Yeah, it's you.
Like,
I think you caught my disease from last session.
okay? Let me maybe I should just drop out of Discord real quick and then pop
Okay.
back in.
Okay.
okay.
I can't think of anything else to do.
That's basically what I did with Fantasy Grounds. I don't know why it wasn't letting you in. I guess I had it up for quite a while this week, uninterrupted. And I think sometimes, it might, if it gets disconnected, the session gets disconnected from the cloud or something. Maybe it ruins the mojo.
Hmm.
Connectivity. It's an issue. I wonder if I should continue with the summary. Let's see. Okay, Yelena's wearing the Socks of the Well Rested, which gives her temporary hit points after a rest. The next day, it is now the 9th of Marpanoth, for those of you not keeping track. I did put notes in like the little calendar in Fantasy Grounds though.
Yeah, I do check.
Because I try to remember what day it is, because there are a couple things happening parallel. Like I gotta track where Tony the squirrel is. Remember old Tony on his way back to the Emerald Enclave?
So we've got. Don't we have a squirrel cloak now? Did we
Yeah,
get that?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrell's attuned. I'm talking about that squirrel that you sent a message back to the Emerald Enclave
That's
with.
right. Hmm.
He's running, and I'm just tracking his time, which is why I keep making notes of the day. Yeah, your caravan made good time on this day, and you estimate you're roughly 10 miles outside of Zelbross at this point. And a, a woman in white appeared running towards the caravan, seeking help to rescue her family from zombies. After conferring with Lady Belafana, the caravan parked off-road while the three of you and your owlbear friend Sprinkles investigated. The lady in white led you to a roadside graveyard, making Terrell immediately suspicious of nefarious intent.
Yeah.
The woman said that this is the old graveyard, the one used by earlier generations of Zelbross, because of reasons. A new cemetery was added to the north part of the village shortly before it was ransacked by gnolls a good 15, 16 years earlier. The woman frantically called to her family members, Marcus, Judah, Carly, and Terrell used her divine sense and detected that there were more undead deeper into the graveyard. Yelena took to the air again and scanned for signs of these undead that Terrell sensed, but only saw some freshly filled graves, at least recently fresh enough that the mounded earth had still not been overgrown with grass. Kai recalled some talk in Rushver about an area of the high forest that is east of the Unicorn Run River called the Dire Wood, an ominous place where the high forest is corrupted. He reckons that you've reached a point where you would be east of the Unicorn Run, and there's forests north of wherever you are right now. So you're like, oh, are we close to the Dire Wood? Is this bad? Just as the woman in white seems to become fixated on Terrell and begins to speak of betrayal of duty and slaying the innocent, calling Terrell an oathbreaker, across the graveyard, scanning the headstones, Yelena picks out familiar names. Marcus Claybank, Carly Claybank, Judah Claybank, the same names the woman in white claimed needed rescue from zombies. As Yelena whirled around, letting loose a shot at the woman in white that flew wide, out of the corner of her eye, she spotted a noose hanging from a creepy tree by the central crypt of this graveyard. In front of Terrell, with Kai and Sprinkles kind of lingering slightly farther back, the form of the woman in white changed into something more spectral, and her gown became ragged, and her throat seems to be marred with signs of rope burns. And that's where we're picking up today, with everybody rolling initiative because things are tense. So let me start the tense music up again. Oh no!
I've lost my initiative roll. Where is it?
Well, I thought you got it.
Oh, it's there.
It's on your main page.
Found it. Sorry.
Oh, maybe I should put these little thingies. All right. The woman
Oh,
in white,
bloody
the
hell.
lady in white is near Terrell.
It sounds like pirate music.
Does it? I thought it sounded
You
a
don't
little
think?
like floaty things, and I don't know. But it could be pirate music, yeah. It is multifunctional,
Sure.
stressful music.
It's drama.
It also sounds a little bit like a cursed toy shop.
There's some Tim Burton vibes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're all initialized. Kai, how fast you are today.
Yeah, so we're fighting this ghostly woman then.
Well, you've identified Terrell is she's been screaming at Terrell, so make of that what you will. But Terrell is like, you can tell that, like, obviously Yelena has tried to shoot this woman, and Terrell is, like, because of initiative, is drawing a weapon, so she's obviously freaked out.
Right. So, I guess I might take a move back.
That's fair. Run away?
Yeah.
Run away!
And then I'll do a firebolt on her. Firebolt.
Alrighty.
Do I just do attack? You know, I can't remember. I think it's attack.
On the spell, it should have, like, an attacky button thing.
Hits.
That looks fine to me. So yeah, 24 totally hits.
8 damage.
I just realized I do not see the map. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, I will share it again.
So,
Okay.
if you click on your small icon
That's what I was trying
on
to-
the main page, and it brings up a little thingy, and then on the bottom bit there's like a little grey and white icon next to your picture.
Yeah, you have to take
Yes.
2 steps now to open it rather than 1.
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
annoying.
No,
Okay.
from the combat tracker, if you click on your picture, it will also open it.
All right, I see how you do it now.
Oh yeah, it does.
So that's me done, I think. Unless I've miraculously got an extra action to do.
Nope, I don't think you got a miracle.
Nope.
You're in the wrong profession, Kai.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's Kai's turn.
I'm going to take a guess that she's going to attack me.
What happens is Yelena, who sees everything because she has like such wonderful perception, being a ranger, and she'd rolled a natural 20 in perception, I do believe, before we ended last session.
That's right.
That noose that she saw hanging from a tree, it animates.
Oh no!
And it's no longer just dangling there. And this animated noose starts to float. Wait. I should have established this. I think you're about 35 feet above the ground, Yelena.
I think so, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So the noose is going to dash to be where you are, but because it has to dash to be to where you are, it can't actually do anything to you this round.
Yelena is surprised. Rope does not normally do this.
Aggressive rope.
Aggressive rope was not
practically in your face.
Not in my previous experience.
And the lady in white, she calls out and she says, I left before, but I shouldn't have. I will stay. I will stand here with you now. Marcus, Kylie, Judah, whatever their names are. Stand with me. Stand with me. And these shadows rise out of 2 of the graves. Shadows floating over 2 of the graves. And you also realize, well, there's 2 things. Let's see. She tries to grasp you, Terrell. But before she does that, she moves through you. And you feel a chill in your bones. As she moves through you, and she does... you succeed in your concentration. Wait, what are you concentrating on?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I think it's something left over from last session. Maybe it was, Oh, guidance. You have a guidance from last session.
Guidance. Yeah.
Okay, we'll say they're still around. I don't know. Let me put, I would say you have 3 rounds left. Just in case you need to check something. Check yourself.
Okay.
She does like 4 points of force damage as she moves through you, and then she tries to grasp you, but misses. And her hands kind of outstretch, and the entire graveyard becomes very cold. Like the grass freezes over, is covered in a layer of frost, and this freezing air begins to rise from the ground up to 30 feet high. So Yelena is just out of the range of it. But Kai, Sprinkles, and Terrell, you all need to make a Constitution saving throw. Terrell, you're good.
Hang on, I'm just doing Sprinkles.
Kai, you're not good.
No.
Sprinkles is good.
Fine.
So Kai, you feel that cold as it rises suddenly from this gravy ground. I don't know what my words are failing me. I don't know what to call it. And you take a little cold damage. 2 points. You feel a little bit of the frost nip in your fingers. Feel a little stiff.
It's alright. I'll set some on fire when it's my turn again.
And that is the end of her turn, but as her turn ends, she goes invisible.
No fair.
And that is the end of her turn. Yelena. It is now your turn.
I'm sitting here looking at what I've got. I mean, the only thing I can think of, I'm trying to be creative, which is always a dangerous thing. Okay, so number one, I want to swoop away from this rope, if I can. So, I can move
35 feet.
35 feet. So say right about there. Okay, I'm gonna be creative. This may not work. I'm gonna cast Fog Cloud.
You can totally cast Fog Cloud.
I can do it. Whether it's gonna do any good, I don't know. But so right, sort of in the middle, and see if I can keep those two shadows in the rope in the fog, and hopefully they can't see us. That's sort of my goal. So
I'm pulling open Fog Cloud. Man, I haven't read the essay on how to use Fog Cloud in a while.
It's a concentration spell, so I think that means I can't do any other spells.
Tactics. Which
So
is probably
one
good for you,
action.
because I have no sneaky tricks that come to mind about how I can take advantage of your Fog Cloud.
I'm trying to keep us out of it and them in it. I don't know, maybe we need to be hiding in it. So that's 120, cool.
It's a 20-foot radius around you.
Centered on a point within range.
And because it's a 20-foot radius, I'm going to say it is 20 feet high as well.
Okay, cool.
So if it covers you, you're going to have to like get a little bit lower if you want it to cover your friends.
I'm trying to decide if I want it to cover us or if I want it to be on them, on the enemies, and
So is it just like to give them disadvantage on their attacks if they can't see us?
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Area is heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration. So it doesn't say what sphere is fog. It doesn't say what the advantages are if anybody tries to attack you.
Well, you're obscured, so like there's definitely disadvantage.
For them.
Like say with the lady in white right now, because she's invisible, you're at disadvantage trying to attack her.
Right.
So it's basically the same thing. You don't have any sight on your target.
Should I obscure us? Or at least I don't know if
We
that
could do.
Trying to figure if that's better. Oh, decisions.
Analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis. Okay, I'm gonna
The
obscure
strongest
us.
weapon.
Let's drag this over us. Incoming. Hopefully they understand what I'm trying to do and make a mental note of where exits are.
Keep your arms inside of Fog Cloud.
Yep.
Okay.
So hopefully
You
they
can't see this, but there's a very confused look on
Do
Terrell's
you want
face
it?
when this
Do you
cloud
want it
just
where
appeared.
it is right now, or do you want me to adjust where it is, or can you adjust it?
Can I adjust it?
There's a little square in the center of the circle that if you click on it, it'll allow you to drag it. I think.
It showed up for a second.
I'm not sure if it's affected by by me creating it or not.
I can change the size of it, but I don't look. The funny thing is when I hover over that 20-foot symbol on it, that little square in the center opens up. and then it goes away when I go to.
Don't
Yeah, I can see that.
hover in the middle, and the little square will appear.
No.
Uh-uh.
It's not doing it.
All right. It's my fault. Do you want me to remove the circle? And if you use the shift key and your right and left mouse, you can create a new one.
I can try.
Or do you want to just tell me where to move it?
Just center it on Sprinkles.
Okay, set it on Sprinkles.
Yeah.
All right, smack dab on Sprinkles.
Do you know what I need to cover you a bit?
Yeah. Well, can you scoot it over so I'm in the edge of it? Sorry. I just love the idea of us, me just rearranging. Hold on, wait.
Shadows there.
Pivot!
Like,
Pivot!
Shadows are getting their nail files out, filing nails.
There we go.
Any time to do this.
I mean, hey, if you want to, move Sprinkles way over there.
Gooch,
That's cool
scooch.
too.
I had to like move Sprinkles out of the way because like once I had with the dot on top of Sprinkles, I couldn't move it. It was weird. Okay, Fog Cloud.
Oh, Cloud. So let's see if this works. If this might be a totally useless.
I don't know if it's useless. I think everybody's hidden from everybody, and y'all are gonna just go in circles until everything is expired at this point.
Okay. I may have just messed up Kai's plans here.
Is that your turn? That's your turn.
That's my turn. I'm done.
Sprinkles.
I don't care. I can just throw stuff. Right, so because we can't see the lady in white, I guess Sprinkles will just try and attack wherever she last was, which was to the east of me. Actually, can Sprinkles smell her?
Does she have?
Smell her.
I don't think she has blind
Oh.
sense, but she does
No,
have like some
she's
kind
got-
of advantage
she's-
on perception checks.
Yes,
If you want
so
to do a
she's got
perception check to see if she can smell, I'll let you do that.
right. Let me do that. It's actually sight or smell. It says so.
Ooh. So with
That
an
was
18,
pretty good.
I'll say that like Sprinkles sniffs her out and can tell that the lady in white is a little bit. Well, I'll temporarily make her visible. So she can tell that the lady in white has moved like over to this place, and she can run towards her.
Right, then she's gonna do that. And then the check doesn't count as an action, does it? Otherwise, that was a waste of time.
I think technically it would, but I'm gonna let you do it as a bonus
Shit.
action.
All right.
Cause it's Sprinkles.
She's gonna take a swipe
It's
at
the
her.
Sprinkles
Sprinkles is doing well.
disposition. Look at her rolling. All right, let's say it's like one of her attacks.
Yeah. All right. That's good.
So she beaks at the lady in white, pecks her with her big baby bear owlbear beak, and does 3 points of damage, but it's not as effective as Sprinkles would have liked in terms of pecking something. Now, I think you've only moved Sprinkles like about 15 feet out of the fog cloud. So you still have movement, but you are adjacent to the lady in white now. So moving back into the fog cloud.
Attack of
will
opportunity
encourage
if she moves,
attack of
yeah.
opportunity. But see, Sprinkles doesn't know about fog clouds.
Yeah, and it probably don't make any difference. I think Sprinkles is going to stay put. She would just keep trying to attack.
Like until somebody told her different.
Yeah.
Get your butt back in the fog, young lady.
Well.
Okay. Is that Sprinkles' turn?
That's Sprinkles' turn.
And now it's you, Terrell.
Right,
The
how
lady
do you
in white
do a
is
circle?
invisible.
How do you do a circle?
Shift key and both mouse keys. Buttons.
Alright, now what am
Did I lie? Is it not the shift key?
No, it's right. Right, I'm gonna cast Moonbeam on me.
You're gonna moon yourself?
I'm gonna moon myself on the assumption that it will show up like a proper beacon in the middle of this fog cloud. And it's me she's after anyway. So let's try and entice her over.
Oh. What, you want her to help her find where you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could always drop it, I think.
No, I think
So-
I think cover for you is good and
So
let
we'll
her come to me.
cancel
Okay.
out the advantage on just, or the disadvantage is canceled out on just Terrell,
Yes, just me.
as long as you stay in your moonbeam.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is my action, and I'm not gonna move. So
Alrighty. It's one of the shadows' turns. I gotta go see what can they do.
Note to self, I need more spells that can deal with supernatural stuff.
Here's the thing. So the shadow is going to move into the fog cloud. Specifically, this is just to represent that it's in the fog cloud. But here's the thing about, well, I'm not going to tell you a thing about it. I'm just going to say that, yeah, it's happy to move into the fog cloud, but it is still at disadvantage trying to attack any of you.
Well, it's something.
So Yelena and Terrell, roll a d4. Whoever's highest, they're going to try to swipe at you with disadvantage. Actually, it could have probably gone. Actually, you know, I take that back. It is going to go for Yelena
shoot
anyhow.
in the air.
It's not going to go for like the person in the moonbeam. So it's going to try to swipe and leech her on disadvantage. It tries to swipe at Yelena. But it still misses. And that's its turn.
Excellent.
Nice.
Kai, you're up.
You just hear a call from Terrell. More fire would be good.
So, in this fog cloud, can I see things to aim my spells at?
You can't see through the fog cloud.
Okay. Can I see in the fog cloud? So can I see that shadow?
No.
See, this is the problem. I knew it was going to be a problem, but it was like trying to figure out what was the lesser of the problems.
I think the only thing that can see around it is like I think like, you know, like how darkness is, and there's like a special thing that allows like warlocks to see in darkness, in magical darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like that going on. So while you are safer inside the fog, you are also equally hindered from attacking things and seeing things. You could poke your head out and try to see something.
So I could say, for example,
So yeah,
do
if you
this,
move there,
yeah?
you could see that shadow clearly, and any
I could-
attack against it would not be a disadvantage.
and then I can pop back in.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
you
I'll
can
do
bob
that.
and weave in and out of the fog cloud. That is totally a strategy.
Okay.
I'll go na.
Right. I'll do another firebolt. I think.
22 hits that shadow.
Nice.
But you notice that the shadow is somewhat resistant to fire.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Yeah. But you still did 6 damage.
Right.
Is that your turn?
Yes, that's my turn. Yes.
I'm gonna roll like a little perception-y thing on this shadow guy, just to see if he understood anything from like the shooting of the firebolt about like which direction he should fly. Oh, and he got a 16. So he's gonna. I mean, I don't think he's gonna make it, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's flying closer. Actually, he's gonna dash fly. 1, 2. No, wait, I'm not gonna do it because he did the perception thing. He's in the bushes now, so he's partially obscured. So it's now like -2 to hit him in the bushes where he is, outside of the fog cloud. But that's gonna be that shadow's turn. The animated noose. If anyone's poking their head outside of the fog cloud, they would see the animated noose kind of like curl its rope up in a kind of shrugging motion. Like, where the fuck did everybody go? It sees, now it picks out, oh, there's an owlbear. So it flies toward the owlbear. But it doesn't quite make it to where Sprinkles is. Lady in White's turn. She sees that moonbeam. It's pretty obvious. But I still have to figure out what the hell she's doing. Oh,
Getting Fantasia
because it's
vibes
her
from
turn.
the moose.
Don't mind me, I'm just hyper. She becomes visible again while she's attacking stuff. And she casts Ray of Frost at you in the moonbeam, using the moonbeam as a guide.
Uh-oh.
That gives us time to figure out what we're doing.
Oh wait, it won't let me target you because you're in a circle. Damn it! Because the dot's right on top of you.
Cunning plan.
Natural 20!
Oh,
Oh!
no!
Shit.
I love the shaking effects.
That's the oh no! Let's see if it does it automatically. Oh!
Oh shit, this is a really bad idea.
17 damage. But you succeed! Your
Turn
moonbeam!
right off!
No!
Your
Oh, and I
moonbeam!
succeeded my concentration check. What the chuff?
Your moonbeam is still effective, highlighting exactly. And I'm going to take away your guidance because that was eliminated by the moonbeam.
Okay.
And then at the end of her turn, again, there is a chilly frost. Everybody needs to roll, and Yelena, because of your fog cloud, you're now within the range of this. So all of you guys have to roll a Constitution saving throw. Terrell failed. Kai failed.
Oh, we all failed.
Whole bunch of
Sprinkles
failure.
failed. Yeah, everybody failed. Everybody gets iced.
That's disturbing to me. See the big flash of blood.
So oh, Yelena, you absorbed
Wonder why.
some of it.
Do I have advantage against cold somehow?
You might. You might. Maybe the cozy socks? Wait, I did look at your cozy socks.
Maybe. Yeah, look at that.
What does your equipment do even?
I don't know. I've got the flying boots. The flying boots don't provide anything, right?
You've got temporary hit points. Would it be that?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe that was it. The temporary hit points.
Hit points,
Because
gotcha.
it reduced your temporary hit points.
Hmm.
Well, rested socks shouldn't do anything. I was thinking about something else. All right, yeah. So I think your temporary hit points just resisted it.
All right, and I cannot remember why I got the temporary hit points.
That's from your socks.
The socks, okay.
The socks of the well rested.
Mm-hmm.
See, Groovy's backing this idea up. It's 10 hit points. All right. Oh, that's the end of Lady in White's turn. She's gonna she's gonna move around though, and she's going to get closer. But she's like not in the moonbeam, but she's like adjacent. But she's also going invisible now that she is no longer attacking. So Yelena, it's now your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna poke my head out, just out, or I'm gonna step out.
Peekaboo!
Peekaboo right there, and I'm gonna look to my right and to my left, and I'm assuming I'm gonna see this shadow right here.
You kind of see the shadow. It is partially obscured, so it's like -2 to hit it in the bushes and stuff. But you're also in the bushes still.
I'm also in the bushes. What is? Let me look at this.
Oh, it would also be like -2 to hit you where you're standing right now. I mean, really, technically, you're under the hanging tree. I don't know if that's bad vibes or what.
I can do a Heart Strike bonus action, and I've got advantage on ranged weapon attacks. Ignore penalties for your enemies having half cover or 3/4 cover. So I don't know if that's...
Okay, that would do it. That would get rid of the cover.
Okay, so we'll
Plus
cast
give
that.
you advantage, right?
Yeah. So I will cast Heart Strike and shoot that dude with a regular arrow.
Woo, magic.
All right. Da-da-da-da, where are my buttons here?
We're all doing really well tonight.
I'm having a good time.
Ooh.
Whoa! 21. Now it is partially resisted,
Mm-hmm.
so 6 points of it was absorbed by resistance, but you still did 8 damage to the shadow.
Yeah. So now I can't... Since I took the bonus action to cast the spell, and I stepped out, and I want to step back in, I want to swoop back in, do I need to... Can I take another shot, or do I need to save that to move back into the cloud?
You can still shoot things. You have multi-attacks. You get to shoot
Okay,
things regardless. That's
put
like your
them under there.
action. When you take the attack action, you get to shoot twice. Whoa!
Nice.
27!
Bloody
Whoa.
hell!
Okie dokie.
You do another
Another
8
day.
damage.
Yeah, bit by bit. All right, I'm gonna go rip back in.
Yoink.
I guess that's it. That's it for now.
Now it's Sprinkle's turn. Go Sprinkles.
Sorry. Will she know that the ghost has flown back into... Oh, do you know what? She's going to attack the noose.
The noose is still in the air.
Oh, so she can't reach it.
Yeah. Like about 20 feet, like Yelena's height. But she can do
gonna
another
get
sniff check.
I think she's going to have to...
15. That's the DC. So she succeeds. She can smell.
Okay.
She can smell that the lady in white is very next to the moonbeam. Well,
Alright,
that one
she-
cocktail I made was pretty strong. It's very next to the moonbeam.
Okay. She's gonna go claws this time rather than beak. I am assuming that because she's a ghost, Sprinkles can't push her towards me.
Let me double check how. I think she is incorporeal. Yeah, she's incorporeal.
Okay. Right. Claws attack then. Nice.
So because she's incorporeal, part of that damage is not inflicted, but she does take 5 damage
Okay.
from Sprinkle's swipe. I love
That's
thinking this.
Sprinkles done.
Sprinkle's front half is in the fog cloud, and her tail feathers are outside
Just my butt
the
sticking
fog
out.
cloud.
Yeah. It's wiggling at the noose, trying to entice it down.
But the parts of Noose interest are within the fog cloud, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right, that's it.
that was Sprinkle's turn. It's now your turn, Terrell.
So, because I saw where Sprinkles attacked, I've got a rough idea of where the lady in white is.
Well, you didn't see
But I
anything because
guess-
you're in the fog cloud.
Does the moonbeam not throw some light around me?
Yeah, but the fog cloud it's kind of like obstructing.
Yeah, but fog cloud.
Yeah. Alright, so what I'm saying is I've got a rough idea of where to attack, but it's still going to be a disadvantage, yeah?
Sure, it's lighter, but there's smoke everywhere still, so it's just lighter smoke.
Okay.
You have clean. Just do it.
No, I don't have cleave. Right, and I will try again on the assumption that she's somewhere. Well, I can hear Sprinkles. How's that?
You can hear Sprinkles.
Oh shit, that should have been at disadvantage. I think that would. Oh no, that's not right. Let me do another one at disadvantage.
Yeah, roll one more time.
Yeah.
But you hit. Okay.
Woo!
Treat as a hit.
Okay, so. Right, so I'm going to use. I've got device my extra damage versus fiend or undead. So when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal radiant damage.
Oh, I'm saying
So-
I forgot to push the button.
Right, okay, so do I... It says it's an effect, so does that mean I roll it on myself?
Oh, you're asking me how smites work in Fantasy Grounds again.
Well, I don't...
You know,
what?
every session we have this conversation, and we
I
still
know.
don't know. We don't
I know. I've put the effect on myself. I'm going to roll my damage and see if it applies it. So if not, it's 2d8 for a second for first
I would
level.
just roll, because I think your spell is set up where you can roll the damage separately from your. Just roll your normal weapon attack damage,
Right, that
and
was
then
my.
roll the damage from the spell.
No, I think it's applied it. Bow bladed longsword effects.
Oh, it applies some radiant
Slashing,
damage.
lightning, and radiant. Yeah.
But it only did 1d8. Shouldn't it be more than that because of the undeadness?
No, it's 1d8 per spell slot that I'd used, and I've used this first level spell slot.
Okay. Well, there you go. 18
Got a
damage.
thought on. I should have done 2.
Partially
Yeah.
resisted, but she still took 16 damage. Which isn't shabby at all.
It's not, and that's me.
Okay. Shadow. The one inside the fog cloud. It's staying away from the moonbeam. It doesn't want to mess with that. And so it's going to try to swipe at Yelena again, but it's at disadvantage. And because it's a disadvantage, it totally whiffs it. I mean, you feel like this kind of like ominous, like darkness, like weird coldness near you, like even weirder, like it's a bad mojo kind of drifts near you, Yelena. But then nothing. It goes away. All right, top of round 3, Kai.
I think the only thing I can do is pop out of the cloud and have a go at this shadow, but obviously not use anything fiery this time.
It's in the shrubbery still, so it is -2 to hit. So you can hit the -2 button if it is a ranged magic attack.
It is right.
Oh, nice.
All right, moonshine, shot of moonshine for me.
Oh God.
Natural
Don't
20.
die.
I mean, the previous natural 20 was me, so I didn't drink for that. And so
well
you
done.
zoink that shooting your fire, or the witch
Lightning.
bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that.
it dead?
Yeah, that shadow just sizzles up and fades out of sight. And the lady in white can almost sense it, that it's gone. She's like, "No, Marcus!" And Terrell hears, "Oh, you're going to pay. I won't let you take him again!"
I've popped back into the cloud, and that's my turn.
Animated Noose. Not really functional in this circumstance.
Okay, so now I'm a fan of the fog cloud, despite some awkwardness.
Yeah, speaking of awkwardness, the Animated Noose is just hanging around. We're gonna move on to the lady in white. Who comes back into view now that she's attacking. Can you see her now? Am I doing that right?
No, she's disappeared now, isn't she?
Oh wait, am I not doing her? Oh, I forgot to turn her off after Sprinkles did her stuff, her sniffing.
Yeah.
All right, so she's gonna be at disadvantage, but she is going to try to grasp. Actually, yeah, she's gonna try to grasp at Terrell. Misses because it's a 15. And the cold is still there in the graveyard, so everyone has to roll a Constitution saving throw again.
Oh, come on. That one.
Terrell succeeded. Roll for Sprinkles too.
Yep, just grabbing it. Uh-oh.
Okay, so Kai, Yelena, and Sprinkles will take some cold damage. Yelena absorbed it again. I think that's the last of your temporary hit points,
That's it,
though.
yeah. Oh well. They serve their purpose.
Kai takes 1. And Sprinkles takes 4. Oh, chilly baby owlbear.
You'd think the fur would help, wouldn't you?
Lady in white disappears again. And it's Yelena's turn.
Alright, so since that spooky swiped at me in the cloud, I think Yelena would take a chance and shoot an arrow in the direction of where that swipe came from. So obviously I will have disadvantage on this, but I'm going to try it.
Okay.
Because that's what Yelena would probably do. And it doesn't look like I'm going to shoot anybody by accident. Here's the
You do
Nice.
hit the shadow.
Wow.
Awesome.
You still manage a 13.
All right.
Partially resisted, but you did 8 damage. The shadow, I mean, well, you can't tell. You can't see it.
It's sort of been.
Woo!
Son of a bitch!
Ah! You hit it again. Following the first arrow. And
Nice.
with consistency, you couldn't see it. But there's a little wispy sound. And kind of like this long, deep, exhalation, sigh kind of thing. As invisible to you, the shadow disappears.
That's some
Sprinkles.
fancy trick shooting.
Sprinkles.
Move if you want to move, Yelena, but I went ahead and moved on to Sprinkles.
Yeah, go ahead on Sprinkles. I'm just gonna stay right here for a minute.
Oh no!
So
Sprinkles
Sprinkles,
sees nothing.
yeah, she doesn't pick up any deets about where anything might be. She's got a little bit of a
Then
stuffy nose right now.
She's just gonna do a random attack. And I can't cast it on her, so I'm gonna guess that would
She whiffs
fail.
it. She swipes her claws and doesn't hit anything with an 8.
Alright.
So unless she wants
That's
to
her done.
move, we'll move on to you, Terrell. Unless you want to move, Sprinkles.
I think she's gonna stay put. And I'm gonna do the same again. It's a 12, so guessing that was a miss.
A12 was a miss.
Alright, and then I'm going to try again.
Okay.
Because I can't think of what else to do, to be honest.
Natural 1. You can still what? You can move your moonbeam as a bonus action. But I think that's the only other thing you can do. Unless there's some other spell kind of bonus action.
No, I mean the only other thing I've got really is Misty Step, but I don't want to Misty Step. You know what? I will go with the hope that she's moved between me and where I think Sprinkles is, and I'm going to move the moonbeam there.
Okay. You have
Thinking
moved.
about is what I should have done.
You have moved the moonbeam.
It's definitely me done.
All right. So we are at the top of round 4. Kai.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, yeah, I have no clue what to do. Shadows are gone. Can't see the ghosty. The other thing I can think of is I chuck some fire at the rope. I don't know,
Yeah.
You'd have to, yeah.
but I'd have to move quite far out, wouldn't I, to get to it?
Might compromise your ability to move back in.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't know. Really.
You could do ye oldie fireball, but because of the fog cloud, it'd be hard. You can't sculpt the spell around things you can't see.
Yeah. And I can't see the rope from within the fog cloud. Can't see anything outside.
Right.
I think maybe I'll just lean up against this gravestone that I'm stood by.
Have a
Fold
seat.
my arms and twiddle my thumb for a minute.
Do you want to hold any kind of attack in case you do get to see something? In case something appears that you can visually see?
Yes, I'll do that. Yes.
All right. So like what? Hold a firebolt or something if you actually see something
Yes.
that
Hold
you
a
would like to
fire-
attack.
Yep. Yep.
So the animated noose is kind of fed up, and it floats closer to where it sees Sprinkle's buttocks, and it lashes like a whip on her behind. Or it attempts to. And with an 18,
Oh, no.
it is successful. Doing 5 damage to Sprinkles. It gets another attack, so it tries to do the same thing. This frustrated animated noose. But the second attempt falls wide and just hits the ground beside Sprinkles' furry, fluffy, feathered behind. The lady in white becomes corporeal again.
God damn it!
And she tries to grasp wildly. She moves like a little bit closer to the moonbeam. And she's at disadvantage. So she's kind of like grasping wildly, hoping to hit something. Trying to go for you, Terrell. But it is a disadvantage. And she nat ones it.
Thank God she dropped that 19.
But again, the area facts of the graveyard, everyone needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Terrell saves.
I am not good.
Sprinkle saves this time. So Kai and Yelena.
Kai's gonna get some
Ooh.
thermal undies when he's finished here.
So Kai takes 5 and Yelena finally takes 2 damage. Like 4 rounds in. Many things have landed.
Joys of temporary hit points.
Exactly.
So the lady in white, she disappears from view again. And Yelena, it's your turn.
Oh, good grief. If I were to fly up over the top of the cloud, would I be able to see our friend the rope? Or is he it? She?
If you flew straight up like 10
Uh-huh.
feet, yeah, you can see the rope.
Would have a
And
line
you
on
would
it?
also like, if you flew up 15 feet, you would lose the effect of the cold as well.
Now you tell me.
And you would have a line of sight. But
Yeah,
you
okay.
wouldn't be covered by the fog cloud anymore.
Yeah, I think my plan is to bop up here and try and shoot it, and I think I still have flaming arrows. Because
I think you
feel
have,
like-
you still have like the alchemist fire arrows, I think that Kai made.
yeah. So I would like. How should I use that? Are we just gonna add fire damage?
Uh-huh. It's yeah,
No.
it's like a normal arrow, but it adds some persistent fire damage if it hits.
So 1d4 fire damage at this range. On a hit, the target takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turns.
Right.
Okay. So not right away.
But it'll take it when you hit as well. It's just
Okay.
the persistent damage will be at the start of each of its turns.
I'm gonna try one of those.
Okay.
So I'll just do my regular attack.
Yeah, regular attack. It's not a disadvantage because you've flown out of the fog cloud.
And there goes the flaming arrow. That did not work. Pew!
Yeah, so you're down
See
to
if-
one of those.
As it goes up.
I'm gonna save that other one. I'm just gonna do a regular arrow and see if this works.
Because otherwise it's like nagging Kai to make you more.
That's right.
And 18 hits!
And Yelena is cursing herself, like, why couldn't I have done that? Okay, so there's that, and then she goes down into the cloud again.
It's at this point you start to wonder. Well, do an insight check.
Right, insight, where are you at?
Okay.
Nope.
You got nothing. All
I
right.
got nothing.
All right.
This vague nagging feeling that I should know something, but I don't know.
Yeah, like.
anything.
Yeah, you have like this little flicker of a thought, but then it escapes you.
What did I walk into this room for?
Yeah, exactly. You fly back into the fog cloud, just like kind of sink down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That
just
slow
heavy.
descent, a little wave to the noose.
We'll flip it off.
And it is now Sprinkle's turn again.
Well, since the rope whipped her on the butt, I think she's going to whiz around and attack it. Which I'm assuming that means if her head is outside of the cloud, she's not got disadvantage.
Right. She just turns around.
Yeah.
I think I turned off the things that allow you to turn the tokens around.
Right. Okay. So she missed on her first attack.
She misses with a 17.
Yeah, she does. Bloody hell.
It's a wriggly rope.
Oh, well, that ain't gonna work, is it?
She misses with a 10.
There's a mournful twoo, and then she runs in the cloud.
It's like tricky hitting this gyrating rope. Yelena did it with an 18.
Yeah. Difficult.
So, Terrell.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I know where she was last time. But I ain't gonna help. God damn it.
But did she move?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think what to do.
I mean, the fog cloud has definitely made it harder for her to do stuff to you guys.
I guess I'll just swipe and hope. Nope. And same again. Yeah, I'm kind of scuppered.
Or we could just sit here and wait until she gets bored.
Wait, I mean, eventually the fog cloud is going to dissipate. And
This is true, yeah.
What's the time on that fog cloud?
That is a good question. Hold on.
Is it a minute or is it like a 10-minute thing?
Mine's a minute, the moonbeam.
I think we've only had about 3 rounds.
Duration, concentration up to 1 hour.
1 hour?
Wow!
I mean,
Now, have I been concentrating this whole time? Hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you only took 2 points of damage at any point in time.
yeah.
So
So we could just
don't-
wait
I
it
don't-
out.
I don't remember it making you do a concentration check for that, but okay. But you wouldn't have had to,
Yeah.
except for that one thing. Not like
it's
Turl
like
over
it
there.
lasts for the duration or until a wind of moderate or greater speed disperses it. So.
Yeah. So you figured at this point that apparently she doesn't have a big wind
Yep. Okay.
to have done anything about this. She has cold. Cold's what she got. And it's just making the fog chillier. Terrell, your turn's over.
Yeah, that's all I can do. Sorry.
Okay,
Should've
on
moved it
to round 5, Kai.
Yeah. He's still not sure what to do. I think I'll move over to the other edge of the fog cloud. I'll move to about there, and then maybe my next turn I can pop out and have a go at the rope. Yeah, that's it really.
That's all you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, unless I just take a wild firebolt at the rope. I don't know. What do you think?
You could. I mean,
Sure.
what is it going to do to you?
What's it going to do to me?
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to lose if you take a wild shot with a firebolt?
My dignity.
Okay.
Nobody can see anything. You just say it.
Everybody who can see it is in the well, the noose could mock you if you miss.
Yeah.
You see, I hit it, and we're like, yeah, all right.
Right. I'll try that then. I'm assuming I'm at disadvantage. Yeah.
Now, if you do a nat 1, there is a chance you'll hit somebody in the fog cloud.
Right. Well, we'll risk it
For a biscuit.
Biscuit.
Biscuit time.
So is it -2? Yeah.
No, just disadvantage because you're in the fog cloud. Just disadvantage, but the pure disadvantage of being in the fog cloud and trying to attack something outside that you can't see through the fog.
Yeah.
And if 11, you did miss, but you don't get to see the noose mocking you, so
No,
that's the bright side. And it wasn't such a terrible miss that you really goosed it and set one of your friends on fire.
Yeah, that's true. That's me done.
And it is the noose's turn. The noose saw the wild shot of flame, and it's gonna kind of move in that direction of where it thinks it came from. This noose, though, man oh man, what a useless thing I added to the combat.
That's creative.
I mean, to be fair, it's Yelena's fault for sticking that fog cloud up so we can't do it. Which we're all very grateful for.
We're exploring with new options. This has its advantages. I like the whole pop out, hit something, pop back in.
The Lady in White becomes corporeal again. If I wanted to make this easy for you, I'd have her leave the fog cloud.
But why do that?
It's already like little adventures break time, and look where we are.
But we're having fun.
Round 5, playing peekaboo in a fog cloud. I should have done that early on. Okay. She's going to try to grasp where she thinks Terrell is, but still disadvantaged. One day I'm going to roll 2 high numbers. One day, some point during this hour. But the cold effect still happens. So everybody make your Constitution saving throws.
Boy,
Well,
it does not want me to not be cold.
Everybody failed. Everybody's chilly. Brr. It's not making you roll your Constitution saving throws, but at this point I don't care. But you should have worn your scarf. Yelena, it's your turn.
Oh gosh. So I can't see any. I wouldn't. Would I have some sort of weird sense that maybe the lady is over there? Is she disappeared or is she still in view?
I will let you do what Sprinkles has been doing, and you can use one of your attack shots for perception to see if you can sense where the lady is and take away disadvantage. Or you can do any attacks at disadvantage. The DC is 15. But you're super perceptive.
I'm super perceptive. So should I just shoot at disadvantage? How do you want me to do that?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you can do a perception check, and if it's successful, you can shoot without disadvantage.
All right, let's do that.
Or you can shoot twice with disadvantage.
So just roll perception in the chat window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Right.
All right. So
An arrow pops out with Terrell's butt. Damn it, Yelena!
thankfully, that was not an attack roll.
Thankfully, no.
And it's just you being like, I got no clue.
I got no clue. You know what? I'm gonna do something a little crazy.
That did just make me think of something that no one's thought of yet. But yeah.
I'm just gonna bop out. I'm gonna step out here and hold my turn. Hold my attack.
Okay.
And see
All
what
right.
happens. See what shows up.
You can see something.
Yeah.
How high are you?
We'll just say I've just popped out of the fog cloud right at near the top of it.
Okay. The noose is really close to the ground right now, so I'm going to say that doesn't open up visibility of the noose.
Okay, that's
Quite.
fine.
I think you need to be a little bit higher to see the noose.
I'm just gonna troll. I'm just gonna troll and see if the noose wants to come over and say hi.
troll the noose.
I'm trolling the noose.
Sprinkles.
Alright, Sprinkles is going to start with her check. See if she can smell where the woman is.
She cannot
No.
smell where the woman is.
Alright, did you say the noose is quite low?
The noose is quite low outside of the fog cloud, so if she stepped out of the fog cloud, she can totally see it, and it's at her height.
Right, she's going to attack it.
She has one
With
attack
her
left.
other attack. Yep. God damn it! Right. That's her turn. She's going to stay there and distract the noose.
Okay. Terrell, it's now your turn.
I would like to cast Divine Sense.
Aha! You just thought of the thing that I thought of.
Yep. Just been looking
So-
at it since the end of my last turn. I was like, for fuck's sake!
Using your divine sense, you can tell exactly where the you can sense where the death is coming from. I'm going to give you that one.
Right. Okay. So, I know where she is. Does that mean I don't have disadvantage?
You do not have disadvantage anymore.
Fire! Oh!
And you hit her with a 19.
Alright, then I would like to cast a second level Divine Smite. I'm just going to see if I can see how to do it as a +2. Hang on. Oh, shoot. Alright, it's going to be I'm going to have to do the extra roll for the 1d8. And another 6 radiant.
She only resisted a tiny bit of that. So she overall took 27 damage, I do believe, from that smite.
Okay. And that's attack 1. I'm going to attack her again. Ah!
17 misses.
Well,
And you hear her screaming again.
I scream back at her. We didn't do anything!
Cut me down like you cut him down! I won't run away this time!
I didn't cut anyone down, you stupid woman!
She's Oathbreaker!
Stupid ghost!
That's you? Top of round 6. Kai!
Right, Kai's gonna jump out of the fog cloud, do a firebolt at the rope, and jump back in again.
Okay. Firebolted old ropey.
Yeah.
Alright, you hit the noose with an 18. Ooh, and what do you
vulnerable.
know?
Nice.
Ropes are vulnerable to fire.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do.
And with that, you just managed to basically, yeah, burn
Fizzle
that rope
the
into ash.
Yay. Right, one less thing to worry about.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
That's
The only
my turn.
opponent is lost in the fog cloud with y'all.
But now we know that Terrell can find where the ghost is.
Terrell, how many senses do you have left, Terrell?
I think I've got 2 left.
Alright.
Yep, 2.
Right, that's my go anyway.
Or we could run away and leave her in the fog cloud.
For an hour.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an
She
option.
can run round.
Just tell the crew, don't go that way. Just keep going.
Yelena calling from outside the fog cloud. Hey, I've decided this isn't really our problem anymore.
Exactly. I've made a decision.
Executive decision.
You know, I've not been doing concentration checks on this moonbeam.
well, like,
But I think it's
I've-
been crap anyway, so I'm thinking I might drop it.
I realized the moonbeam a little while back that you weren't having to do concentration checks, but I decided I didn't care because this combat was taking so long. I figured it wasn't impacting anything. So I decided to be lazy. Wait, oh, it's Lady in White's turn. She's again, I mean, not that it's working at all, but she's gonna try to grasp Terrell because Terrell, you are the bane of all of her problems. I'm not the bane.
I've
but
lost
you're,
my map.
You're the source of all of her problems as far as she's concerned. But because she's at a disadvantage, she misses.
Yay.
It's a sad day. If only she wasn't so fixated on you.
I know, shocking, isn't it? I have lost my map.
Oh, you've lost your map?
Yeah, for some reason I've managed to minimize it and I don't know where it's gone.
Did that help at
Thank
all?
you. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
I think you're out of range still, Yelena. I think you're still high, right?
Yeah.
So everybody but Yelena roll for cold damage.
Yay.
Con save.
Kai saves with the dirty 20. Sprinkle saves with the 21.
Oh, it was almost
Oh.
a 20.
Only Terrell. Oh, 6 points of damage. It's sinking into the metal of your armor. And that is Lady in White's turn. So she, isn't corporeal anymore. Yelena.
I don't think I've really got any. I mean, I could drop it. Can I do a perception? Is there anything else that potentially could come for us?
You mean any other monsters?
Any other? Is she gonna bop up any more of her kids as spectral entities?
Well, my divine sense would have
Would
told me
pick
if it was
that up.
any within 60 feet.
Yeah. I'll say that Terrell has only gotten the signal about where the Lady in White is at this point. As far as Terrell's concerned, there's no more undead in this cemetery.
And let's assume that I actually shouted that out.
Take her out, and then we can go on little adventures break.
So just I'll hold action again. Let Terrell go and see if she can get this woman, because Terrell's the one that can sense her, right? I can't.
Unless you have something that
Yeah. I'm sitting here looking at all my stuff. It's like I have absolutely nothing for supernatural.
Do you have any spells left?
Oh yeah, I've got
For
spells
that,
left.
that
but
spell
they're
that
all
you did
kind of like
earlier? What was the spell you did earlier that gave you
Heart-
advantage?
Heart Strike. That takes up my second level 2 slot.
So you could choose to use that
Right.
and give yourself a normal attack. Or you could not use it. That's a bonus action, right?
It's a bonus action,
Okay,
and I was
yeah.
looking. Hunter's Mark. I would have to drop the fog cloud if I wanted to use Hunter's Mark.
No, because we're using sloppy 6th edition or whatever the next edition is going to be rules for that.
Uh-huh.
In that I'm treating Hunter's Mark like as you get a certain number of Hunter's Mark as a ranger archetype kind of dealio, and it is not concentration based.
Okay.
That and the cantrips thing are the only things I'm using from whatever that next edition is going to be, I think.
I would have to see her. Choose a creature you can see within range and mystically mark it as your quarry. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 damage. I'm just going to continue flying around on the outside, the perimeter of the fog cloud, to see if she comes out.
All right. And as you fly around the perimeter, it just reinforces what Terrell is yelling. You don't see signs of any other creatures that are a threat in this graveyard.
I didn't know if she would come out and try to get me because I was outside.
No, she seems to be really fixated on Terrell.
All right. I'm going to drop the fog cloud.
Okay.
Brace yourself.
And the fog dissipates! And you just see... You don't see anything. Because she's invisible. She's incorporeal. It's just all of you guys looking at each other, pointing at each other like Spider-Mans. You don't see any monsters. There's still a little bit of a cold mist coming up from the ground.
And so I'm going to shout out, what would happen if we just walked out of here? What do you think? Do you think she'll follow us?
I think she would, to be honest, because she was out of the graveyard anyway when we met her.
Right, that's true.
Should we leave? Should we peace out?
I mean, she can either show up and fight us.
So is that your turn, Yelena?
Yeah, for right now, that's my
Are you
turn.
gonna hold? Do you want to hold shooting something
Yeah, I'll hold
with
shooting
your
something
with your
until it pops up.
reaction?
Yeah, we'll do
Okay,
that.
so if she comes into sight, you get to shoot one arrow at her.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay. Sprinkle! It's sprinkle time.
Right. Okay. She's gonna move over there. And I guess she's gonna do perception.
Trying to get some body heat from her friends. With an
Ah.
18, though, she can sniff out that the lady in white is right next to you. Not next to her,
Okay.
but right next to you, Darrell.
Okay, so
She's
can
just over
she?
your shoulder. So she can attack without disadvantage. And an 18 hits, I believe. Wait. Yes.
Right. So 13 less whatever resistance it is she's got.
So she does 7 points of damage.
And then she's gonna swipe with the claws.
Ooh, and her claws land as well. And she does another 7 points of damage.
Okay, good on you, Sprinkles. And that's her done.
All right. It is on to you, Terrell.
I'm gonna cast Divine Sense.
You can tell she's right next.
Okay.
She's not visible, but like this is just for your attacking, dragging stuff to her.
Fuck's sake.
But you're like, yo, man, you got really excited, Terrell.
Ah!
All right, can I shoot now?
She's not technically visible because this
okay,
was
sorry.
like the divine sense telling what
We
direction
just-
she was.
Hilariously, I
While
just-
she was invisible.
Wouldn't Yelena see where I was trying to hit?
She'd see what you're trying to hit, but you missed.
Alright, fair enough.
But you can, if you have space for one, you can give yourself a inspiration for that natural one you rolled.
Who, me?
Yeah, all those any inspirations that we have that nobody's been using while you've been rolling it to disadvantage.
Well, I haven't got any inspiration,
I-
so I've got room
yeah.
for it.
I ain't
Oh,
got any.
okay. And is that your turn, Terrell?
Unless I can use my inspiration that you've just given me to attack again.
Have you attacked twice? You have attacked twice.
Yes.
So no.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the one thing is I'll give you the inspiration based off of rolling the nat 1, but you can't use it in the same turn.
Okay, then I am done.
So, round 7, how did we get here? Kai.
So I'm assuming I can't see anything.
No, I'm gonna hide her again. Yeah, you can't see anything yet. You saw you saw Terrell flailing about with her bow blade and didn't seem to hit anything. But she seemed to be aiding to the northwest of her.
So I could try and take a bit of a shot in that direction, couldn't I? But
Yeah.
then if I miss, I might hit somebody else. But
You are still at disadvantage because you can't see anything. But as long as you don't roll a nat 1 like Terrell did, you're fine.
okay, I'll try. How
Thanks
do
for rubbing that in.
How do I cast it? Now.
Just roll the attack in the chat. Wow, see that's what I was hoping I wanted to do. This whole combat, I wanted to roll 2 high numbers. So 13 points of fire damage. Let's see if there's any resistance. Yes, there is. So 7 points of damage off of that. So you do 7 points of damage with your firebolt.
Yeah. That's it for me.
All right. And it's the Lady in White's turn again, and she becomes corporeal. So Yelena,
Let's do it.
you can let loose with your arrow. And with a 16, you hit. And as this arrow whips through the slightly corporeal form of this woman in white, she disintegrates into ashes. And strangely, fog. The cold dissipates, becoming normal again. And the intense combat music stops.
We all look around.
And everybody says,
Oh, it's gone really quiet.
well, hey, maybe now's a good time for a little adventurers break.
Indeed.
So,
We got all that done.
Bloody hell.
that was fun though. I mean, funny.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah. Different.
And with that, also your divine sense is at rest now, Terrell. You don't sense any dangerous, scary things within a 60-foot radius of yourself.
Cool.
All right. So if everybody wants to, we'll do the little adventurers break. Come back
Okay.
again.
Back in a bit.
Back in a bit.
Back in a bit.
I'm back.
Hello.
No.
Okay, that's 2 of you. Is Kim still little adventure breaking? Breaker?
Sounds like it. Wow, I know that for a while.
Yes, I was alive in the 70s.
One of my exes used to. All her family were on CB radios.
Really?
Yes.
Such a thing.
Did have a very fun evening once playing hide and seek with them.
Oh.
Yeah, we
How
all
does that work?
we were like 6 cars.
In cars? Oh my god, that kind of sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, we all drove off. Someone was it, obviously drove off, and then they had to find us. It was quite amusing actually.
Awesome. I'm not quite
I'm
sure
back.
why that was so popular. It was really popular like late 70s, around early 80s maybe, I think. Like, because in
Yeah,
America we had this
I mean,
show
this
called
was
BJ and the Bear, and I think the Dukes of Hazzards and all that stuff, and I think that contributed to like using CBs as a thing. Convoy. And it was like in pop culture for like this pop culture for a brief shining moment, and then it just became like this hobbyist fringe thing. Again,
Yeah,
I guess it
was weird. There was a massive community used them. Loads of people used it, but I would never have known if I hadn't have been seeing this person. So.
Well, everyone has returned. Welcome back, tasty friends.
We're back.
I have refreshed my drink and tried to like really quickly orientate myself as to what the hell is going on. But we will return. We will, if everyone is physically, if not emotionally prepared, we will resume with play in the aftermath of, you're in this cemetery. You fought off some undead things. And now you're just standing in this, other than it being a cemetery, I mean, it looks kind of normal.
Yeah, so it's disturbing that there's been a lot of undead. Why would be? Is there some sort of curse? Is there some sort of evil?
Yeah, is there any clues?
Yeah.
I'd say you guys could do a religion check or arcana check to see if you can pick out anything in this particular space that makes you think. I'm
crap at both. But...
Any sort of religious, any sort of divine or arcanic source for the weirdness. Terrell, Yelena, you're not picking up anything.
This is not
it
my
looks
forte.
like any old cemetery. And Kai, I mean, you're not picking up much of anything yourself because you've destroyed everything that was weird. Okay. It's like you're not picking up any weird vibes out of anything that's left here. You notice things. I mean, there's things like for a place that has had you run into a lot of zombies. You run into undead in the past day as you've gotten closer to this place called Zelbross. While there are recent graves in this graveyard, none of them are disinterred. There's no signs that anything has like come up out of the ground or anything. Everything, I mean, as a last resting place, things other than your last encounter, things look pretty much at rest here. And you're not getting any vibes about there being anything odd other than that lady in white and like her minions. The 2 shadows and the noose. And unfortunately, there's nothing left of them.
So we should be good to just crack on then.
Yeah, but
and not worry about it.
It's like Yelena says, why are we suddenly seeing all these undead things? There was the undead horses back at that carriage.
Yeah, I feel like we should get back to the
rest of the team?
Back to the rest of them. I'm kind of curious about that path ahead, but not that curious. So
yeah. Now, I know that it seems like it took an hour and a half to sort out that business with this lady. But in reality, it was only about 15 minutes. So by the time you return to the caravan, make your way back, half a mile down the road, the caravan has pulled off sides, but you haven't been gone so long that they've decided to set up camp. So they're ready to go.
Okay.
So I guess we'll probably just say something to Lady Bellafana and ask if she's got any insight as to why this might be happening.
Undead?
Yeah.
I haven't a clue. I mean, I'm not an authority on undead. I don't like undead. I mean, they're pretty, creepy and gross. I've got that opinion, but I didn't come this way when I headed west to Rooshfair, so I don't know what's going on. It seems like it's, and you told her about your, how everything with that lady went very dead.
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell her about, the fog cloud and, the combat with the shadows and stuff?
Sure.
Okay, so she's aware now that, okay, multiple places, undead stuff. It's not just the dead horses. It's
Right.
not just possibly zombie wolves.
It's like different types of undead too. It's like ghosts.
Mm.
Do we know what they were those ghosts, or were they something else?
I say
Would my divine sense have told me?
insight check. I mean, they were undead, all right. But I think here again. What would knowledge about what type of undead? I mean, I want to say it's a religion check, but you can say nature as well, or insight.
I did insight.
I do the insight anyway.
Yeah,
Shit.
16 is enough. You're not quite sure what the lady in white thing was.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure. She seemed unusual, though. You picked up something between the whole noose situation and that tree and the marks around her neck. That, say, maybe you didn't get a really close look at them before the whole fog cloud popped up, but Terrell could describe it. That seems to be kind of like a cursed spirit kind of thing happening there. That she died by hanging and had some unfinished business or some anger, wrath about that situation, and that could have contributed to her coming back as this malevolent undead spirit. You've heard of those kind of things before. The other two creatures, they were definitely shadows, as far as you're concerned. Just a type of undead that is very susceptible to light. And now you realize that, they were probably happier in the fog cloud than they were outside the fog cloud. And they probably wanted nothing to do with any moonbeam. So the moonbeam kind of repelled them a little bit.
Lessons learned. It all worked out.
It worked out all right. If I'd remembered I had divine sense sooner, it'd have been great.
I was about to ask, does anybody have turn undead?
I don't think I've got that yet.
Then Kai remembers again, oh yeah, we might be near that dire wood place. There's a place in the high forest east of the Unicorn Run called the Dire Wood. Don't know where it is. It's somewhere in the high forest, eastern high forest. But you've traveled far enough east that the eastern high forest is north of you now.
All right.
So Kai's like, well, maybe something creepy is happening because of just the proximity.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye out when we get to Zelbross because of what that guy told us. And just see.
So you're about 10 miles away. You ready? Should we just get back on the road and head on out?
Yeah.
I mean, is this really our problem?
Well,
No.
I'm not sure there's what else we can do, is there, so...
No.
Yeah, I
Go on.
mean, and we don't want to hang out here. But if there's like this, if there's a lot of undead in this area, it makes me wonder about Euphoria. Like, I hope she's safe. I wonder. I mean, of course, Lord Jomont, he's probably catching up with us by this point. But nobody else in the caravan except for you guys know about, my wyvern. But, like, people can be easily led. What if I just, like, bring Euphoria to join us and just present her as like, oh, hey, this is totally normal. And then we just have a wyvern traveling with our caravan and act like it's normal. People just accept that it's normal if we act really cool about it. You think?
How big is she? And will she eat the livestock?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. She might, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe she should just stay in the fringes. Cows are just, she does like a good cow. I mean, that's part of why Parnas doesn't have cows and goats and sheep in the first place. It's because they, apparently, the cultists that were there before I arrived, they fed them all to the wyverns.
Huh.
Yeah, okay. Well, just fingers crossed. I hope Euphoria's okay. She's pretty big, by the way. She is. She's like a little dragon. Like a like how Sprinkles is a little owlbear.
Indeed.
Euphoria's like a little dragon. Only, she's grown up. She's not going to get bigger.
Okay.
How are we going to get our hit points back?
We have to rest.
Hit points. What are those?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Wait, we're probably about 10 miles away from Zelbross. We could try to head on out to that town. Or we could go ahead and make camp for the night if you want to. I mean, at this point, it's kind of, it's getting kind of late. I mean, the sun's getting real low. And, I mean, it wouldn't be far-fetched if we camped for the night. Find a good spot.
What do you reckon?
I mean, if there's a chance there's going to be a trouble with Zelbross, I'd say we rest before we get there.
You think there's going to be trouble? More trouble?
There's always trouble.
Anywhere we go, there's trouble.
Are you the trouble?
That is a very good question. I don't know the answer to that.
I think it just likes us. I think the trouble likes us because we're just such nice people. Well, didn't you say we'd spoken? Because I don't have this in my notes. Sorry, I'm just completely out of character here. But didn't you say we'd spoke to someone who said that there was issues at Zelbross?
In the diary you retrieved from that crashed
Outright.
carriage, the diary spoke of being attacked as it moved. Its caravan moved through Zelbross, and they lost half their guards.
Which doesn't sound good. So I mean, there's an argument made for like going round Zelbross, unless we want to go in and see. But I still think we should rest before.
I thought we were supposed to be going to something.
I'm
I think we should rest.
I'm not sure that the map really clearly. I have this map, and I'm not sure it clearly depicts it, but I think, I don't know. We'll have to see once we get there if we can go around. For where we are
Okay.
right now, I mean, going off-road with this caravan, that's a little tricky, so I'd rather not do it if we don't have to.
Makes sense.
Okay.
And with running alongside the river, yeah, I'm not sure it's going to be necessarily that easy. The river will might be bound by the river a little bit this one way, and I don't want to go by river. She seems a little bit shaken by that thought. that Lady Belafana is not seeking out any water-based travel.
Okay. Don't like water. Noted.
So, but do you want to make camp for the night?
I think so.
Yeah? You think should? Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a little early, but just give everybody a couple hours extra to kind of relax, rest, recoup, toughen up for other whatever weird stuff you attract tomorrow.
Is it just me, or has everybody started turning into robots?
It's just
It's
you.
just you.
I don't know. It might just be me again.
No, it's
It's
not
Rach.
me
She
this
might have.
time.
Yeah. Do you want to restart Discord?
Yeah, that seemed to work because I was having
Oh.
the same problem.
Oh, hang on. She's just blowing in to a USB port. Because that's what she did in order to get it work last time.
It's working now.
So what happened?
Obviously, the USBs on my computer are not wanting to play today.
Just jiggle it, Jeff. Jiggle it.
Take it out, blow on it, put it
Isn't
in
that
another
what you
one.
did with like Nintendo cartridges?
Yeah, just jiggle it.
Blow on it.
Okay, so you set up camp.
Yeah.
That means if you take a long night, you've got a couple extra hours to rest and relax. Is there anything you want to do?
I will do some more reading of that book.
Okay.
Yeah, I think same. I was reading one of those books also, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How many arrows can Kai make for Yelena?
How many thingies? That's a technical term right there. How many supplies do you have?
Oh, crap. What kind of supplies was it?
I think it costs
Alchemical, wasn't it?
50 altogether to make. You have to make the alchemist's fire, and then you have to wait. It's 35. So you have to
Right,
make alchemist's fire, and then you have to attach it to some of her ammunition successfully.
Okay, so I've got 70 alchemy thingy.
Okay. So if you subtract 35,
Yeah.
you can make an Arcana check to see if you craft alchemist's fire successfully. It's a DC of 10.
Can I cast guidance?
Yes, you may.
Will that help?
It will help because it's a skill check.
Okay, hang on. Target. Herb. I'm trying to target Kai. I can't target Kai.
We just know that Kai gets a D4 if he needs it.
Yeah, it's a D4.
Okay, so roll a Arcana check, Kai. $13, no problem. So you still got that in the bank. That guidance is still in the bank.
Okay.
So you successfully craft some alchemist fire. Roll a D4 to see how many. Okay, so you make 2 more alchemist fires.
Okay.
And you grab some of Yelena's arrows and make another Arcana check to see if you successfully attach the bulbs of alchemist fire to the arrows. This is DC 12. So 13, you did it again.
Yay.
So that's 2 more alchemist fire arrows for Yelena. So I'm going to bump up. You used 1. I'm going to add 2. So now you have 3. Cha-cha! So that used up. How much time did that take? I didn't make a note about how much time it takes to actually do this. I'm going to say that it took you like, it took you like 4 hours.
Okay.
So you have about 2 hours to spare to do something else. But, Actually, you have like 6 hours because we have extra time. The non-elves have like
2 hours a night.
6 hours of free time to spend. You
Yeah.
have
So
10.
we can be using that for sleight of hand tome. That's the thing I'm studying.
Okay.
And me for the
So
religion.
I would take 6 hours out of. I've got 20 hours left, so that would be 6 out of that.
So, are you both spending all your 6 hours reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So both of you are at 10 of the 24.
So it's
Almost
14
halfway
hours.
there.
So 14 hours left.
Yeah, both of you have 14 hours left on your tomes. After a couple hours, just as the sun is set, gotten real low. I can't stop. I
Let's
need
get
to
real
be
low,
stopped,
Priscilla.
but I can't stop. And they've cooked up some rabbit and some other meals and done some scavenging of greens and stuff for dinner. And everybody's getting ready to settle down for dinner when you notice that in the trees surrounding camp, there seems to be a large, a high number of crows just kind of sitting there in the branches watching the camp. And no sooner that you've just noticed the crow's presence, suddenly they just seem to be everywhere. There's like the cawing begins to swell and the crows begin to multiply. And suddenly the branches of the trees surrounding the camp just seem to be a swath of black feathers. And the sky overhead seems to flutter. I mean, it's dark, so you just feel the movement. I think there's birds flying overhead. As the crowing gets louder and louder and louder. In less than a minute, though, just as like the whole camp starts to get really tense about like, what is that? What's going on? Are we in danger? The sound begins to dissipate and the birds disappear.
Well, they fly off or they just disappear?
They start to fly off and they're
Right.
just, there's none left in the trees anymore.
So something's watching us.
So just as quickly as they appeared, they dissipate. You do have that lingering feeling, that uneasiness that something's watching you. Are you being hunted? The camp calms down, and once they fill their bellies, most people seem to be able to shake it off. They settle in for the night. The fires get tampered down a little. People start to retire to their tents or their bedrolls. And you're wrapping up your reading for the night. And you see Harkin, that fellow you rescued from that place. For some reason, I can't remember the name of it right now. It starts with a U. Ulavan. The guy you recognize, you rescued from the shapeshifters in Ulavan, who was a soldier, and Lord Jomont ended up hiring him to the caravan. He approaches Terrell from the south side of camp, and he says, excuse me, Sergeant Pulte, Sergeant Pulte's asking for you to check out the south side of camp. Well, it was me. I thought I spotted a rider. Once,
Oh.
twice, 3 times. Same stretch. Just one rider, like carrying a torch, maybe? Too dark for me to make out. But yeah, after that weird crow thing, I thought keener eyes, like Yelena's, maybe could sort out whether it was anything to worry about.
You know, you're talking to Rel, not Yelena. Shouldn't you go after Yelena?
Well, yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
He's like, you're like, I thought you were like. He puts like one gauntleted hand up around his mouth and whispers to you, Terrell. I thought you were in charge.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Yelena in charge?
None of us are in charge. We just make it up as we go along. We'll go look. What?
Well,
you saw a rider.
that's the thing. One rider, dark figure, on a dark horse.
And did the ride just one way 3 times, or did the ride there, back, and there again?
I would see them ride past, and I would try to catch them on a spyglass to get a closer look to see, anything more about them. And they would seem to I couldn't catch them. But then I'd see them riding again from the same direction. Not back and forth.
So like a repeat.
But it's possible that I am missing something. I don't think my eyesight is that good. I'm not a scout by nature. I'm a soldier. I pulled watch duty. I probably should get back to my post. But if you could look at it, Miss Yelena is good at this stuff.
Did Yelena and Kai hear that? Are you
Yeah.
nearby?
I guess so.
Have I got my hit points back yet?
No.
Yeah, I don't know where we are.
I
I'm
am
assuming we're all-
cackling and living because I can totally picture Yelena has just settled down for the night in her bedroll. She's like got her little sleep mask on, her green sleep mask.
Yeah,
And
I guess I heard
here
that.
this runt of a soldier, this grunt, comes up and is like, "Hey, can you check this out?" She's like, "I guess so."
It's like, no. Hey, I'm off duty now.
Knowing that she doesn't
Right.
want to. She's like, the last thing we need is another situation. I don't want a situation.
I just want to see if we can see what the situation is, and hopefully it will be something that can wait till the morning. But maybe not.
Can we
All right, so-
table this for tomorrow? Next meeting.
You see what happens when we say we're going to camp instead of going on to Zelbross? Right.
What happened? Can we not have like one peaceful camp?
No, obviously not. Right. I mean, I can send the snake ahead again.
Okay. You summon your snick.
Mm-hmm.
Taking out your jade staff, and you like throw it down, and boom! There's suddenly this constrictor snake. And you see it kind of like slither around, looking around.
Yeah, and
It's checking for zombie horses.
Okay, we don't think there's any zombie horses, but there's something running around to the south, and we need to go check it out. So I'm going to send you as an advanced scout. Don't let anything see you. Don't attack anything. I just want you to look and stay safe.
The snake just kind of like flickers its tongue, kind of in Morse code. Okay. And it slithers off through camp. You hear a few little shrieks, like as the snake goes past people's sleeping bags and stuff, and they're like, "What? Snake!" But the snake keeps going.
Okay, then we follow. Quietly.
How far behind are you following? You keeping the snake
What do you
in view, or the 60 feet away, 100 feet away?
100 feet? I mean, I trust it to be able to slither back pretty quick if it finds anything.
Okay. So you kind of like hike behind the snack to the southern edge of camp, the side that is closest to the road. And there's like a little bit of a rise, a small hill. That's kind of a slight natural barrier between where you have camp and where the road is at this point. And
So it's a rise. So does it drop down on the other side? I think we go up and then it drops down.
it's only like about 5 feet worth of hillage.
Okay.
So you can still see things pretty well. Not even 5 feet. Let's say like 2 or 3. It's not completely flat around the road, but there's enough of a hill that it's as if the hill had like a small wall lining it. So you can't see like the ground itself, but you can certainly see anything that would be on a horse, as Rankin described, or Harkin, or whatever the hell his name is. You would be able to see something of that nature if it was there. You might not be able to see a badger, but you could definitely see somebody riding a horse.
Okay.
And you wouldn't be able to see your snake, though. Once it goes over the hill, they're going to be too low for you to see the snake anymore. But 100 feet away, snake goes up the hill, over the hill, the crest of the hill, goes down the road. And right now, you don't see anything in the road. But a few minutes pass, and in the distance, about, I don't know, 200 feet away, roll a perception check.
Oh, look, another really bad skill.
What, all of us, or?
Anyone who is looking,
Are we all? I guess I'm looking too,
do
because
you have eyeballs pointed that direction? You can roll a
Sure.
perception check.
Guy's got his eyes shut.
Like Kai forgot to take off his sleep mask.
Yeah.
Yelena, with a 14, you don't have, you're not picking out perfectly clear. Like, it's dark. You feel like, oh, it's a moonless night. So there's no, like, overhead, no stars, no moonlight really making things clear for you to pick out in the darkness. But 200-300 feet away, there does seem to be like an armored figure, dark figure, riding a dark horse, galloping down the road, a rapid approach, riding as if it's going to just ride past where the camp is. And it rides, it gets closer. And as it gets closer, you see it's a knight. It looks like a knight. They're in this dark enameled armor. They've got a helmet on. You can't see their face. And they ride. And just as they get about level with where the camp is, where you're kind of like lurking behind the rise, there's this little burst of flame that pops up from the road. A kind of floating sprinkle of ashes, like a piece of like charcoal or a firewood has popped in the fire, and you just see the ashes float back down out of you. And the figure is no longer visible in a blink of an eye. It's gone.
As if he's combusted.
Do an insight check.
Oh no. Oh!
You're not sure. With a 21,
Wow.
you don't think He's combusted. You think this is some kind of spectral figure? You're putting this figure down to spooky shit that has been happening while you approach Zelbross. But the 21, though, you have a strong concern that that little explosion of ash and embers might have been your snake.
Yeah.
And you're like in this state where like you hope it's not your snake, you want to deny that it was your snake, and you really want to believe that it was this horse riding figure that just spontaneously combusted. But the logical, rational part of your mind says, no, I think that's a baddie, and whatever that baddie did, or whatever that spooky thing did, it took my snake out.
Right. Well, I need to see if it permanently took my snake out or if it's back of the staff.
I need to look at your item description.
I have to roll a D100, and if it rolls a 1, then it's gone. But any other roll, it changes
All
back
right.
into a staff.
Roll a D100.
How do I roll a D100?
That little, there's
there. Yes.
Yeah.
Why have I rolled 2
good.
dice?
It's because it's percentile.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
It's got 1. Yay!
So, not long, like a split second after you see that puff of sparks, and you get this dread feeling like, oh no, that spooky thing killed my snake. In your hand, there's the jade staff, reformed.
Okay. Can I tell it to come back to snake form and tell us what it saw?
Yeah, you can bring the snake back.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if it remembers what it saw before it got poofed, but
Snake comes back. Snake is shook. Snake looks nervous. Snake is kind of wiggly. Snake's tongue is going really fast. But like, if you pick out the Morse code, you're like, it's saying, "Don't send me back."
I'm not going to send you back. I just want to know what happened. Or what you saw. What was that thing that passed you and burnt you?
Nightmare. Fire.
Okay. Does
Now,
nightmare mean anything to me as like as an entity?
I guess, nature? History?
I'm going to go nature.
I can do nature. Slightly better.
You're
It's about the
starting to
same.
Yeah,
You're
kind
feeling
of, it's
like
terrible.
between the zombie horses and whatever just happened, your snake is just asking for a wellness day.
I tell him to turn back into a staff and stick it back through my straps.
So your snake becomes a staff again.
Okay.
A
Do
few
we want to
minutes
go down there?
pass. A few minutes pass while you've been conversing with your snake and ruminating on this. And in the distance, coming from the same direction, riding east, you see the figure again, galloping down the road.
I cast Divine Sense. It's my last one.
You sense death.
Alright, so it's undead.
I have advantage on wisdom survival checks to track favored enemies. So if he's undead, I should be able to track him if we lay low.
Yes. And he rides, and he rides. And once more, as he becomes even with where the camp is, the figure disappears. It dissipates.
All right.
Horse and all.
Can I walk over to where we last saw it before it disappeared?
Yes.
All right. So I want to do a check to see if I can figure out where this thing went.
You look at the ground.
So do you want me to roll for that? It's up to you.
Do a survival check.
Mm-hmm. I can have advantage on that, right?
Yes. With a 26.
Nice.
You kind of got a sense of this creature. There are vibes here. And while you can't pick out track marks even, that a horse and rider have passed this way, all you pick out are the tracks of the caravan as it pulled off-road. Nothing for this rider. You detect a little bit of ash, what used to be Terrell's snake in its previous incarnation. But you don't pick up the tracks of a horse and rider. But those vibes, you just have that sense. Still the sense of being watched. Still the sense that you're not alone. And you look to the west, down the road, where the rider comes from. And then you look east, down the road, the path towards Zelbross. And you just know, you can sense whatever this figure is, whatever this knight, this rider, whatever they are, it's something in Zelbross. They may be hunting you, but this is just that kind of dance as you're tracking down prey. The real threat is in Zelbross. That's where you're going to find them.
Right.
Good times. And weren't we plotting about avoiding?
Well, we said that, but Belafauna doesn't think the caravan can go around.
Around it.
So, I say, original thing, back to camp, get us hit points back.
Going back to bed.
Back to bed, tell Harkin to stop looking this way.
So you go back, tell Harkin, don't worry about it, just stay on the road until morning.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'm saying, there's not we can, is there what we can do other than, like, stand in front of it? But then I don't want it to do what it did to me or it does me to my snake.
Right.
I mean, do we want to confront it, whatever it is? Or,
Well, it seems to
Do we-
disappear.
yeah, so do we just see what happens when we get to Zelbross?
I think it's taunting. It feels like it's taunting us. So it's not going to engage with us. So there's no point in trying to engage, I think. And so, yeah, that the long-winded way of saying, yeah, let's wait to get to Zelbross.
Okay. Then I guess we go back to camp. I go have a word with the guy who's running the guards and just say, look, there's something weird going on. You saw all the crows earlier. The crows or ravens? Crows.
The crows.
Harkins told us about the figure he's seen on to the south, which is very odd. It just disappears at a certain point. Something weird is going on. Just tell your guys to be on the alert and to shout if anything weird happens. Because I'd rather be woken up than be killed in my sleep.
Just be wary of things approaching the camp from that direction, but like ignore the road
Yeah,
for now.
basically, as long as you don't come near us, just keep an eye on stuff, but don't worry about it unless it actually seems to be approaching.
Right. So they listen to your report and follow your advice. And you're at leave to settle down again for the night. You sleep. You get a long rest. But it's a bit of a fitful rest. You keep being woken. Well, Kai isn't, because Kai, Kai can really focus on relaxation when he wants to. But everyone else, it's a little bit fitful because there's these periodic ominous howling of wolves in the distance. Nothing that comes close to the camp, nothing that seems to be approaching. But just always in the distance looming, this howling. This feeling that you aren't alone. But you do get a long rest. So I'm going to word you that.
Yay.
Everybody's shiny and new in the morning.
Yay.
And
My sock? Did the socks recharge?
yeah, you have to roll for your temporary hit points.
Oh, remind me what the dice was. Hold on. Let me find my
Remind
sock.
me for the. Let's look up these
Socks,
well-rested
socks.
socks. Socks of the well-rested. Where the hell are they? There they are. So like you're digging around, you put on your socks. Oh, you notice you still have that ring that you got from Amelior's tower, just jingling around in your pockets. You know, on your green vest that's like so useful and handy. You get 1 hit die worth. So D8. Roll a D8 to see how many temp hit points you get. 4. Okay, so I'll add them.
And go.
4 temporary hit points. It's morning. Hey, it's beans and oatmeal time. Ragnar serves it up. Very enthusiastic because he loves his beans and oatmeal. It is now the 10th of Marpanoth. I'm going to add something to the calendar about that. And as Kai gets up in the morning, pulls the slices of cucumber off of his eyes, he sits up, and his head... do a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh.
Okay. So as he sits up, too late, Kai realizes there's this contraption of webbing like around his head, and he sits up, and it's like the webbing is holding this little cistern, and the cistern holds tomato soup. And he sits up, and his forehead hits the rim of the cistern of tomato soup, flips it over, and douses it over his head. And then he hears this like little spidery cackle. Gotcha, you little skunk. It's Spiderface. He snuck up on you. Happy reign of misrule, you jerk. It's the day of pranks. It's a great day, you know. Enjoy it, because I know I am. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And then there's like a little whoosh whoosh portal sound, and he disappears out of sight.
I really should make a note of these things so I can prepare.
Psychologically prepare for holidays.
So Kai's covered in tomato soup.
Yeah, Kai is covered in tomato soup.
Yeah, better than oatmeal and whatever it is for
Beans.
breakfast. Beans.
It's zestier.
Alright.
Okay, I'm adding a note. Caravan outside of Zelbross. So you're covered in tomato soup, and as you scramble up, you realize also that like Spiderface apparently like laced your boots together.
Alright.
So make another dexterity saving throw.
Hang on a second. Oh dear.
Oh, not one.
Oh no.
You pratfall. You pratfall fall over. You take two falling damage.
Oh.
But you also get an inspiration. Because you rolled that nat one.
Right. Anything else now?
So this is a great morning for you, Kai.
I'm just gonna go back to bed.
gonna try again.
Yeah.
Maybe the next morning run through will be better. So like Kai, you put through the both of like, hey, why don't we just stay in camp for another day? Because this one isn't working out very well. But it is morning. What do you guys want to do?
I think, based on all the weird shit that's going on, I want to sharpen my fucking sword, but I don't think my bow blade needs sharpening.
No, yeah, it's magically sharp.
Okay.
No, well,
We don't have any way to do magic arrows besides fire, right? Is there any?
can I do?
There's other things that Kai can make that can
Can
be
I do
affixed to
acid?
arrows.
Any sort of churning undead? The magic churn undead arrow? The undead bomb?
I like that idea.
I mean, it should be something.
Well, you're kind of like in a tricky position for him to be able to research that kind of thing. Given you're a couple days away from the closest library.
We don't have the internet out here.
Yeah. So it takes some personal inspiration on his part, and I don't think he's going to... While he could eventually figure out how to do that kind of thing, he's not going to be able to do it over breakfast.
Yeah, no problem. Just throwing it out there.
So it's possible, it's just that there's a time kind of constraint.
Right.
Where did you put those notes thingies of the things I could make?
In the notes.
Alchemy recipes Kai knows.
That's the one.
Yeah, exactly. Top of the list.
Oh, if only one knew it.
I mean, the flasks seem like they could be useful.
Acid,
ranged
fire,
attack.
and ice are the things that you know that easily attach to arrows. I'm not sure any of the recipes I gave you are really specifically aimed at undead.
No.
Also, I don't know if you're going to be running out of gear anyway for it.
Well, I've only got 35 thingies left, haven't I?
Yeah.
But it's something to keep my eye out for, like spelly type
Theoretically,
thing.
given the amount of exposure you're getting... I'm sorry, I'm eating candy while I'm trying to talk. Probably sounds terrible. Given the exposure, you're getting exposure to a variety of undead creatures. So it's possible you could get some kind of inspiration through this experience to, like, in the future, devise some kind of undead adjacent recipe, or like maybe come up with, be able to pull some components, like salvage some parts out of this that would help you craft something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of like how getting shapeshifter parts allows you to, like, potentially make stuff out of the shapeshifter parts.
Sounds like a plan.
Breakfast is ending, and Lady Belafana approaches you. She's like, "Okay, so are you ready to pack up for the day? Head on out? What's your feeling?"
Bad.
What do we
Not
do?
sure I say that aloud. Well, I think the general consensus is we think there's something very bad going on at Zelbross.
Do you want to have us stay here and we should send a scouting party ahead? Do you want to go ahead and investigate, or do you want to send some of Jomant's chums? I mean, soldiers.
Tempting as that is.
Did you say you had a map?
A really, like, basic map, the one that's in the background of the fantasy grounds.
What's fantasy grounds?
It's like the Mind Palace. Have you heard of the Mind Palace?
The mind map.
Yeah, the Mind
Yes,
Map.
I've heard of the Mind Palace.
So let me pull out my mind map and show you my mind map.
So
we've got a river.
I'm not sure.
River on one side, and like you said, no path on the other side.
I feel like we should at least get a bit closer to Zelbross before we decide who's going in, but it's going to be us. We're not going to send them, are we?
No.
I think we're about 10 miles away.
Okay, I'm also tempted to ask if there is a way for you to get Euphoria closer, just in case we need some extra help. Because I'm assuming she would be useful in a fight.
I could try. I mean, I could try to summon her now, like I do my little whistle, and see if she hears me.
Okay, I mean, the other option is you get her close so that you can get escape, just in case everything goes tits up.
Ooh, that's pretty brutal.
I know.
Okay, let me try to get Euphoria. Give me 1 second. I gotta find my Mind Palace character sheet. Oh my god, I have so many Lady Bellefonte fans for every single chapter of this adventure. She's got an edition. So there's like 8 of her at this point. Ooh, she rolled a 21. So Lady Bellefonte, she kind of goes to the fringes of the camp, like not out of sight. But she goes to the fringes of camp and she like puts her pinky fingers in her mouth and kind of lets out this really shrieking little whistle. Not little, it's a big whistle. I can't do it, but it's a loud sound. It's like she's hailing a taxi. And after like half a minute, you start hearing the approaching sound of wings. And this wyvern is circling overhead. And you hear the camp kind of, there's like this kind of like exclaim of like of chattering and kind of a few exclamations of alarm. They're mainly coming from the people traveling like Charmandy and uh Terry and Noodles and the people who like are just traveling with the caravan. The soldiers don't seem to be bothered. They don't seem to raise arms against this wyvern at first sight. And Euphoria kind of circles and then lands next to Bellefonte at the fringes of the camp.
Okay.
Bellefonte kind of gives her a pat on her scaly shoulders. It's like, good girl.
Bellefonte, can you talk to her? Can she understand you?
I don't know. I mean, she acts like she understands me. I know a little bit of Draconic, but I'm not really fluent. I don't think so. I'm not fluent. I've been studying though.
I do not speak Draconic.
So I know enough to tell her to like go and stay, be careful, avoid.
Does speak with animals class as talking to wyverns?
Wyvern, it's a dragon. The wyvern counts as a dragon.
Does anyone else speak Draconic? No.
I do not.
Kai
I
says
just
no.
checked.
God damn it.
Anybody
Pick
have
the wrong
any
languages.
like, comprehend languages or tongues or anything?
No.
Nope.
What did you want to ask her?
I just wanted to tell her to be ready to grab Bellefonte if everything goes bad.
Oh, she's pretty good at that. We've had those situations already.
Okay.
So me being able to call her here, that's pretty much readiness. I mean, she's good to go like right now.
Okay. Right. Then let's get so we can actually see Zelbross. And then I think you guys stay and we go ahead and see what the hell's going on. Or do we all want to go in? Do we all want to go in?
The entire caravan? Probably not.
No. Alright, so should we stick with that? Get him in sight and then we go in?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll keep
Unless we can get round it, but yeah.
We'll keep Euphoria by camp. She looks at the wyvern and she's like, "Don't eat any cows." No cows. Cows. Bad cows. No cows. And the wyvern's just like looking at her, like tilting the head. Blinks. You have a little bit less confident that the wyvern understands what she's saying, compared to like when you think Sprinkles understands what you're saying without speak with animals.
Mhm.
You feel like it's kind of that level of communication going on here.
Okay.
Like the creature's picking up on moods and stuff and sometimes responds, but other times just does whatever the hell they want.
Right.
But you also sense there is a certain like respect, like okay, this is her her owner. There's a certain respect there from the wyvern, but it is also still a wild creature.
Okay.
So pray for cows, y'all. So you're gonna head off on your own to scout out.
Well, we're gonna get within sight of Zelbross and then tell the caravan
Okay.
to stop.
Are you taking Sprinkles with you?
Oh God, yes.
Okay. So it's about a 10-mile hike. At a normal pace, let's say it takes you about 2 hours before you see coming into view. Feel like you're getting close.
All right. Can
At
we
this
see any
point,
defensible positions where we can park the caravan?
well, what you see is kind of like it seems to be some buildings on the outskirts of Zelbross that you've reached. And you've gotten to a point where the river is pretty close. It's almost right upon the river at this point. Um, and you see ahead of you a couple parked wagons. They're very large wagons. You also see that the sky is overcast and gray here. It's still daytime, but it seems a little just gloomy and shadowed, so there isn't bright sun. It's not as full dark like it would be nighttime, but it's definitely not a cheery atmosphere. And you see out to the left side, there's a ruined farmstead. The outbuildings are overgrown, they're long abandoned. There's signs of recent fires scorching the vegetation and the structures. There's some bits still standing, but others have been burnt out. The village is visible in the distance. It's kind of just um, glooming a good half-mile farther away, like a solemn specter. And the trade road that the caravan would take seems to lead directly to it. There's a few little hedgerow paths that are splitting off, but they're all headed towards the river. And you're close enough to the river that you can see that what little light there is on this overcast stretch, it still seems to kind of the shores of the river seem to glimmer and shine a bit, like there's something almost phosphorescent and reflective in the clay that lines the banks. Partially blocking the road are these parked wagons that have been converted into traveling homesteads. There are no visible horses. The windows are barricaded with wood planks, but you think they might be occupied because there's a small campfire roadside outside of these wagons, and there's a trickle of smoke piping from small vents in the wagon roofs. And I'm going to share a little map just so you get like a visual idea. Not that you guys really need to be on this map, but hey. It's more like a you are here thing. It's rather quiet, still, and unsettling.
Okay. What do we want to do?
I'm gonna say, like, while there are like 3 wagons are visible here, only 2 of them seem to have signs of life.
Okay.
Like the map has like smoke on all 3, but
Right. Do we just want to shout to attract their attention? Do you want me to cast Divine Sense to make sure it's not full of undead? Although I don't think they use fires, but...
can zombies
to do
build
that?
campfires?
Shall I check?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Alright. Divine Sense.
You do not, within 60 feet, you don't sense any undead.
Actually, am I close enough to be covering all that with 60 feet?
Yeah, you can definitely cover where the wagons are.
Right, okay.
So like in the surrounding area, like including all of these wagons that you see before you and like the burnout farmhouse, you can't detect anything in your immediate vicinity that is undead or that would pick up your divine senses.
Okay. Shout out then. See if anyone comes out.
Yeah.
Terrell steps forward and shouts, "Ahoy, the camp!"
Just ahoy.
Yep.
There's silence after you call out. But after a few seconds, you hear a little shuffle coming from the wagon closest to you, and a woman's voice calls back, "You should turn back! Seek cover! Don't be out here at nighttime. Don't go to Zelbross."
Well, we need to pass it, so we'd really like to know what's happening.
Come closer to the red wagon. I want to get eyes on you.
Do you guys want to stay back here and I'll just go forward, or do you want to come with?
I'll go with.
No, I'm not stopping by myself.
I mean, I can tell Sprinkles to stay with you if you want.
No.
No? Okay. Then we all move forward, except I can't seem to move on this map.
Oh, let me fix that. Show me your arms. Show me your necks. Any of you been bit?
Alright, well that answers that question.
What was the question?
What's going on? But if you're asking about bites and necks, it kind of gives that away.
Where are you headed?
Eventually, Parnas.
You should go around through the wood.
I don't think the caravan will make it through the wood.
Caravan's not going to make it. No. It would take you time.
Do you want to...
You'd have to cut down a lot of wood. Just make a new road. That's really your only option. And she's talkative enough that you see kind of like this shutter, and you hear like sounds of something being jiggled and unlocked. And in the red wagon, this shutter opens, creaks open, and you see a woman's face. It has a scar on one cheek, but it's an old scar. She looks at you, the hard stare, judging whether or not you're a threat. She sees the owlbear. Oh, that's going to be a tight squeeze. I was going to invite you in. Bit of a chat over tea.
Well, she can stand outside if there's no room.
Can she defend herself?
Long enough to give us time to get out here, get back out to help her.
The door fully pulls open, and she steps out. She's wearing leathers. Like, this isn't just some villager. This isn't just some farmer. This is somebody who has some professional experience.
It's Faith, isn't it?
It's who?
If she's wearing leather, I'm gonna go. She's Faith from Buffy.
Oh, like Buffy. Mind Palace? Sure, yeah. It looks very similar to Faith. With a scar. She steps out. She has kind of that attitude. And she steps out. She looks left, right, scanning surroundings. And you hear her call out, "And Freddy! Open up! Let an owlbear in!" And you hear this like gruff voice back, "What? An owlbear? Are you kidding me?" Like, "No, open up! Let the owlbear in! Get it off the streets!" And the other wagon, the blue one, there's some unlocking. An older man, easily in his 60s, but he also is dressed for business. And for his advanced age, he looks very wiry and confident in his movements. And he slips out of the wagon, and he also does a scan around. He catches sight of the owlbear, and he looks at all of you, and he pulls a bit of jerky from his pocket, and he's like, Hey, owlbear, want a snack?" Do you let Sprinkles go to him?
I mean, can I tell that he's not going to be doing out dodgy?
Well, do a perception check. Or no, an insight check.
Can I cast a guidance on myself?
Yeah, I'll let you cast a guidance on yourself.
Alright, so what should you say? Insight?
Yeah, insight.
So 10.
He looks safe. He looks fine. You see the woman and the man, they like exchange a look. And she steps forward and she's like, "You might be brave enough to like leave your animal out here, but I'm assuming you care what happens to him. It, her, whatever it is.
Her.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, it's dangerous. You don't just leave an owlbear out here alone. Even if we're just inside the wagon, that's a risk. And I'm telling you, I'm not willing to risk an owlbear being turned into a zombie right now."
Alright, well, based on the horses that we've seen, I feel that that's a convincing argument.
She'll be safer with Uncle Freddy. Isn't that right, Uncle Freddy? Safe with you, right? He shrugs. "Sure. I got nothing against owlbears. I got plenty of jerky."
I cast Speak with Animals and go over to Sprinkles and say, "You're going to go with that man. If there's anything that you think is weird, you shout as loud as possible and I will come for you.
Can I eat him?
If he does anything that he shouldn't do, yes."
Okay. I don't really feel good about this place,
No, it's weird and that's why I'm concerned, but you won't fit in this wagon with us, so... but it sounds like it could be dangerous to just leave you outside.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be dangerous. Unless I have you with me. Then I'll be brave. But if you're not going to be with me, I want to be safe.
Yeah, so go with this man. Don't necessarily trust him. Keep an eye on him, but don't attack him unless he attacks you. I would say find somewhere to curl up and sleep, or just chill.
Oh yeah.
And if anything happens, shout and we will come.
I can chill. And he has snacks. It's okay if I eat the
Okay.
snacks?
Ye-
I only had
eat
beans and oatmeal for breakfast. It sucked.
Yes, it does. I can fully agree with that. Try a snack, and if everything seems okay, you can have another one. But if you feel weird after having one snack, don't have any more.
Okie dokie. Sprinkles. Roger out. And she bounds forward towards the other wagon. And you see her squeeze through the doorway, and the older gentleman goes through after her, latches the door shut, and you hear the locks being twitched into place again.
Before he does that, I just want to shout over him and say, anything happens to her, you're dead.
Wouldn't expect anything else. It's good to know you're violent.
Okay.
He gives you a thumbs up. And he's gone. Logging up the wagon again. Or as I previously described.
Okay.
So did the three of you go into the wagon with this woman?
I guess.
It's getting late. So you step into this wagon, and it's a tight squeeze because there's 4 adults, but once you're inside, you see that there's also 2 children, 2 boys. And they're kind of huddled in one end, sitting together, eyes wide, watching you, a little bit wary. They seem to be in good condition, but they're also kind of a little bit huddled to themselves. They have that look of, we've seen some shit. But otherwise, they look healthy, well-fed, in good condition. And the woman locks up the wagon after you've entered. She makes once you're seated, she kind of makes an effort, like she's making some tea. She sets down cups for everyone, starts drinking, and says, "Tell me that you're the kind of people who can take on an undead army." And that's where we'll close out this episode.
Okay.
Not at all worrisome.
No, I want to know if you've been listening to the Dark Dice podcast, because you've just gone all horror based all of a sudden.
No, funnily enough, this was actually what I thought in my original plan that we would be getting to around October and the spooky season.
All right.
But us being us, of course, took longer doing everything, and I, of course, planned too much stuff in Succumber, so there's no way in hell we were ever going to actually get to it by Halloween. But that's what my intention was.
Well, to be fair, it will probably be done by Halloween.
Yeah,
This
like by
bit.
the time Halloween gets to us again, you might be leaving this place. We can hope. We can only
Excellent.
hope. We can only hope. I'm trying to hold myself
Yeah.
back and not make it as complicated as Succumber. But yeah, there's undead stuff. And it might be a problem you can't avoid if you continue going east. That said, how's everybody doing?
Well,
Pretty good.
Yeah, this is kind of spooky.
Okay, good.
I like that.
I'm
It's
glad
fun.
that you're spooked. I was hoping to spook. The combat was longer than I anticipated, but that was because of the use
That
of
was
fog
me.
cloud.
The fog cloud.
I was trying to do something different.
Hey, listen, it's all fine, inventive,
It
and
seemed to
like
work.
you said, it stopped things from hitting us, including that noose, which I'm assuming would have gone straight for our necks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, the noose wanted a neck to choke, so you pretty much nerfed that.
I just love the vision of this noose just sort of like shrugging its little shoulders.
And because the lady in white couldn't get over the disadvantage, she didn't have a chance to do her worst. So I mean, like all the damage was like the ambient layer stuff, the cold damage basically. you had everybody pretty much neutralized. The downside was because you were also kind of neutralized too, since there was so much disadvantage going on, is that it made it take a long time. It was like a war of attrition, but you definitely had like the upper hand. So for the next time we play, I know that you guys couldn't do March whatever. I think we had tentatively
16th.
the 9th down.
Yeah.
Is that still good for everyone?
I mean, it's still good for us.
Double checking. Yeah, I've got it on my calendar, so it should be good.
Okay, so in theory, we will play next on March 9th. Barring craziness. I have that in my calendar. Anything else? I can't think of anything else. Thoughts, concerns?
No, I like the fact that we, well, that Yelena decided to be a bit inventive with the combat.
I've got all those spells, and it's like, I've got to do something.
Yeah,
I think it's
I'm just,
fun.
yeah, I'm mad.
They're going, there's nothing for undead.
Well, it annoys me that it took me so long to realise that I had fucking divine sense, so I could sense where she was.
And the thing is, I think I remember just about the same time you did.
Yeah, so a bit crazy, but you know, it worked. We didn't die. We didn't lose that many hit points.
That's right.
And I'm just tormenting Kai with all these holidays.
Yeah.
And I realized that, like, I tripped you up and I dumped tomato soup on you, and then we get to these wagons and the woman doesn't even notice anything off.
I mean, you could say that Kai had, you know, cleaned himself off before we went anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
He's got prestidigitation, right?
Does he have it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do have prestidigitation because of those
You're right.
boots.
Oh, there we go. I did that.
So easy peasy. What's a little tomato soup? That's nothing. The Spiderface thinks he got away with something, but it was really, like, just barely a bother.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody have a great Saturday, what remains of it, and a great weekend.
You too.
You too.
Yes, you
And
too.
Yeah.
I hope Lily gets some movement forward soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
On Heart Watch. It
Yep.
continues.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
Let us know.
It goes well.
All right. I will. Once,
All right,
once
then.
anything happens, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
Thanks, all.
See
All right,
ya.
then. Speak to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.